As shown in my earlier YouTube video, this is my Telefunken F101 that I got direct from France. It's a 1970s solid state Telefunken, and it has both the AM broadcast band as well as long wave, which long wave's not much use. But I ran into an interesting thing with this. I remember in my prior YouTube video I did replace one of the IF transformers. But as time went by, I noticed that there was a lessening of the intensity of the volume. And then at one point, it actually cut out on me. And typically I'm going to think, hey, it's an electrolytic capacitor that goes bad, especially with a radio of this vintage. But I want to show you what it actually was. So first of all, I'm going to take it out of the case. It's a beautiful example of the radio. And when we look inside, you're going to see it's beautiful as well. So I was very lucky to get this. We just, here's a switch for the long wave versus AM, and then it uses volume and tuning on the same side, which is a little bit unusual. Usually radios of this type, you would see the tuning and volume on opposite sides. And I mean, look at this. I mean, this is just absolutely amazing in terms of the quality and the serial number and so forth, and of what's inside. But what I want to zoom in on here is very interesting. I looked at all the electrolytics that were present, and they all tested fine. I checked everything and still was not getting it. And then, having pulled the chassis out, at one point, my fingers crossed over a couple of points on the underside of the chassis that resulted in a sudden increase in volume that really surprised me. And I traced it to this 10K resistor right here. And it turns out that in the circuit, that 10K resistor, that's the brown, black, orange, that 10K resistor is what connects to the volume control into the next circuit for gain. And crazy, that 10K resistor tested infinity. Apparently, this is a low power unit with batteries, but apparently it was defective, yet effective for decades, and then finally failed. Never seen a resistor fail. That's why I'm sharing this, because it was very unusual. I went ahead and replaced it, and voila, volume was actually back better than the last time I showed it, so apparently it was in the process of failing. But really crazy. So don't neglect, if you run through all the electrolytic capacitors and they all check fine, don't neglect to check those key points there. Any element that goes connecting from one circuit to the next, so from the IFs into the audio stages at the volume control is where that happened. And it works beautifully now. Again, don't want to violate any commercial policies and have broadcast radio stations on YouTube, but trust me, it went dead, and that fixed it.